Lunch with your fave is brought to you by KFC. Finger licking good. You look like a threat. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bed.
Get chill at Miss World. I'm speaking things into existence. Hi, Lesego.
Hi, love. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's been forever.
It has been.
The last time I saw you was before you became Miss World.
How does it feel? Do you feel different?
I feel different. I'm in the presence of a queen. It does. You reign forever in the presence of the Lord. So let's jump into it. Speaking of the Lord, right? You're a Christian girl.
Yes.
How was it being in the competition? And I understand, I don't know about everybody, but other Christian girls are not comfortable being in bikinis to start with, and other dresses they didn't sign this sleety. How did you manage to put that, your passion, your talent, and still the same love of God in this moment?
The thing about it is, like you're saying, there are people who are not comfortable with it. I was. I've always been a pageant girl at heart. I've always loved swimwear. I've always loved fashion. So for me, there wasn't really any contradiction. And the thing about it, when you say being in God, I never feel like I need to put away God in spaces which I'm passionate about. Being Miss Botswana is a passion that I feel like God placed in my heart, and I feel that it's a purpose that He placed in my heart, and to make the lives of His people better. So I just had to find a balance and be honest with my truth. This is God's purpose for my life. And I knew that there would be topics surrounding it, but I'm that confident in the fact that it's my purpose. And insofar as I'm comfortable, that's all that matters.
I like that. And speaking of purpose, where did this inspiration of becoming Miss Botswana come from? And take it a little bit also, and where did the passion come from?
So my first pageant was in preschool. As far as I remember, my first pageant was in preschool. I can remember it so vividly. That's the thing. You know what I mean? And then I did a lot of pageantry in primary school. I'm going to have to blame my mother for this, because I wouldn't say but I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that she really helped me pursue this passion, or something that she liked for me. But in terms of now realizing that my purpose aligns with this passion, it was when I was in UB. I remember a lot of people used to say, and I was like, no, when the time is right. And I just knew that this is a platform which I truly resonate with, and a platform that I want to make people's lives better through. Pageantry is always associated with just looking pretty, or wearing a nice crown, a nice sash, getting to be in interviews with awesome people. On and on and on, but it's more than that. And when I had that revelation that pageantry is more than that, and it's about making people's lives better, that's when I knew that this is a platform that I need to pursue. It's like passion and purpose combined. It's thrilling.
And speaking of passion and what combined, you are a lawyer by profession, if I'm not mistaken. Like, how did that happen? There's a lot going on with Miss Botswana. There's a lot going on.
Well, I'm saying, I'm a lot of things, But one thing that I will say is that I reached a point in life where I was comfortable being all the things that I am in one. I used to struggle and felt like I need to pick one of the two. But I got to a point where I felt like that was just societal pressure, that I need to pick one thing, societal pressure. And I just made peace with the fact that I'm a multifaceted human being, and I don't have to be one and not the other. I don't have to be a singer and not a poet. I don't have to be a Christian and not a model. I don't have to pick, pretty much. And it's really what I do stand for. I want people who feel like in the core of their hearts, the multifaceted beings, I feel like they're limited and they need to pick one thing, because sometimes that's just who you are,
Now let's come to now when you joined the competition, all the way to when you were crowned Miss Botswana, right? I remember there was some noise on social media, also because I knew you personally. I was really close to the content. It was how a lot of other competitors had a great large following and presence in the social media, and you didn't. How did you not let that affect your dedication to the whole competition at large?
I repeat, passion, purpose. So outward things don't really matter. And I knew the work that I was putting in, and I just knew that it was a matter of time. It was only a matter of time until everybody got to know me.
Until the Lord breaks protocol for you.
Exactly. But also, it's very important for competitors or whoever is in the pageant space to know that there's a lot that goes on behind closed doors that the public doesn't know. So I was never really faced by the fact that because maybe they've been in another pageant or they just have a large following. And I knew that all I needed to do was put in my best game behind closed doors. And it always pays. You know, in pageantry, because there's this particular person you like, but you don't know the work that goes in behind closed doors. So I just made sure that I grill behind closed doors. I was working really hard.
All right, and now it's Miss World is just around the corner. December, you're going to India. How do you feel about that?
I'm very excited. I must say, I was crushed because it was supposed to be at the United Arab Emirates at first.
Yeah,
who doesn't want to go to Dubai?
Who doesn't want to go to Dubai, baby?
Who doesn't want to go to Dubai? So I was a little crushed at first about the venue that is. But I'm really thrilled about India. I'm thrilled about the culture. I've always said that I want to go to a place that's enriched with culture. So I'm excited about their music. I'm excited about their food. I'm excited about their culture, their relations, everything culture about them. I'm really looking forward to it. And going to Miss World in general, like I was just telling my PR, I just want to go.
All right.
I just want to go. It's
like,
time.
What's traveling for Miss Botswana? I get it for one. One. It means like my little laptop, so I watch movies and my phone, or I'm playing games on the phone. You're going to India,
and I'm going for 30 days.
Do you listen to music when you travel?
I do. I listen to music. I sleep a lot. Let's just start there. I sleep.
I'm
big on rest.
Beauty sleep.
You know what? Sleeping Beauty was a queen for a reason.
And I know one of your favorite songs is Colder Than Water by Tim Distance featuring Ginger Stone, right?
Yes,
so I'm going to play it for you, and right after this, we're just going to be continuing with our conversation. And you, if you just joined in, keep it lock and rock with me right here on the loudest show on Yarona FM. It's Out Loud, and my name is Luhle. Do engage and follow me on my social media platforms. It's Luhle on air. Miss Botswana is live on Facebook, so catch us there and engage with us. We will, I promise you, we will try to read your comments. And we are still having that chit chat with Miss Botswana 2022-2023, Lesego Chombo. And before that, I played you her favorite song, man. It's Colder Than Water by Tim Distance featuring Ginger Stone. They have been nominated for People's Choice Song of the Year, as well as Best Single and Best Collabo with a song titled Ringtone. Yo, it's a hectic one. Hey, this year's nominee is a hectic one. Are you gonna vote before you leave?
I should.
You definitely have to.
I think it's unfortunate because we know who I'm voting for.
I already made people know what Tim Distance and Ginger Stone person, right? And thank you so much once again for joining me today on Lunch with Your Faves, proudly brought to you by KFC.
I'm excited
about that. And if you're tuned into Miss Botswana's Facebook page, you are aware that I'm dripped by Aben. So listen, drip check.
Cool
drip
kid.
Check. Yeah. That's where we at. Now back to conversations with you, right? I really want to ask you this. Live on air, Wajola?
No.
Tato Wajola? Wajola?
No shame.
You haven't been dating for a long time.
I haven't.
Is it 3 years now?
And not because Haole Mabuzana Hawajuli. That's not the reason. As Miss Botswana, you can't be married, but you can be dating and you can be engaged.
But you became Miss Botswana still single, right?
Imagine.
You've been single for the longest, bruh. Like why? I'm saying, is it 3 years now?
I know you're saying this because Bosha's got married. We have a
mutual friend and we were at the wedding. At least I'm in a relationship.
Listen, maybe, just maybe maybe Miss World.
I love it.
You know what I mean? I have always said, my grandmother used to say this a lot and I used to hate it. She's like, and I was like, no, my G. No. But now it's starting to look like
that's
I'm waiting for that person.
All right. Now I see you preparing for India, right?
Yes.
For Miss World, you're going to gym. Now let's talk about gym. Have you always been a gym fan?
I have, but I didn't have the discipline. Because so I started gym. As a matter of fact, when I started gym, it was still for Miss Botswana because I took a couple of years to prepare for Miss Botswana, and I was very specific about
dedication.
Yeah, I was very specific about the things that I was doing. And there's a Miss World sports competition, so I started gym by the time I go for Miss Botswana, I need to be ready for the Miss World Sports competition. That's how I started gym. But I've been going to the gym. Thank you, Jack's Gym, they're my official sponsor. And a big thank you to my lovely and that man calls me, if I don't come to the gym, he calls me my instructor. His name is Arnold. I absolutely love that partnership we have, and it's really helping me to build discipline, it's helping me to build perseverance, and it's helping me to build strength, so I absolutely enjoy it.
Now, I saw one of your videos, and I was wondering, where are your intestines?
No, I forget them at home sometimes.
Yeah, no, legit. Like, what waste, mommy?
I forget them at home sometimes. I leave my waste at home sometimes.
Miss Botswana, I saw a TikTok of a radiologist.
Yeah.
I just wanna ask, what does a radiologist eat? So I wanna ask, what does Miss Botswana eat?
Girl, I eat. I eat. Let me say that I have been blessed with a metabolism that allows me to eat whatever. But I'm very cautious of what I eat for health reasons, because I don't want my heart to fail. I don't want my liver to fail. I don't want to be fatigued. Whatever it is that you eat really contributes to even just how your body reacts on a daily basis. So the reason why I watch what I eat is for health reasons, but I wouldn't say if I eat so much then I gain weight. It's never even like that. It's just a blessing from God.
Yeah,
and I'm milking it. I know, you know what I mean? There's gonna be a time where I'll eat and gain weight. So currently I'm milking the fact that I'm gonna be able to have that KFC.
Yeah. I was born this way. So we have a WhatsApp text. There's a question for you. The brand Luhle. Thanks for an amazing show. Here's my question for Miss Botswana 2022-2023. What legacy do you want to leave behind, and how do you think it will help the youth of Botswana and the world? She seems very relaxed and confident. I see her shining well in the pageant.
Oh my goodness, thank you
that's
so
right.
much. I appreciate that. The legacy that I want to leave is of service. I am big on service. I believe that this platform is supposed to be one which helps me to leave an impact, to have an impact in my community. And this I'm doing through my Genesis project, which is aimed at creating a conducive environment for economically disadvantaged children. It's pretty much, in a nutshell, teaching parents in poverty-stricken communities how to parent given their limited financial means. So it's how can you be present for your child, it's how can you validate your child, the importance of education, the importance of promoting skills development in your child's life, and so on and so forth. And what I see this doing for the youth, side note actually, how we're always like, we feel like our education system doesn't work for us. Rahola, and suddenly we're expected to be entrepreneurs. Rahola, and suddenly we're expected to have proper mental health state, but we have lifehood traumas. This is exactly what it's going to do. It's going to make sure that the youth, because I'm dealing with children, but by the time they're young people, they're going to be emotionally stable.
You're grooming the next youth.
You know what I mean? They're going to be children who believe in entrepreneurship, not just because they grew up in a country which had a government which was doing all of these things, but because we equipped the parents themselves to impart that knowledge on their children.
I like how you highlight that you're not trying to make it at like an obvious thing. It's like that spoon fed by the government. You understand?
I truly believe in that. I think our government has done so much for us.
A lot.
Yeah. Miss Supranational, the former Miss Supranational, who's also the former Miss South Africa, Lalam Swani, she was here for Miss Supranational earlier this year, and we're just chatting, and she's like, what, you guys have free education? What is that? She lives in South Africa. She was still shocked that in Botswana we have free education. She's like, what, healthcare free, what is that? So you find that because we're used to this, we grow up in this, we kind of take it for granted. And while I do agree that there are certain things that our government can do better, it does not take away from the great things that they do for us, truly.
And I wanted us to also, like, I had planned that we need to unpack your project, right? Because as you were saying, it's for young kids and how the parents can parent them with what they're lacking at the moment. I like how to distinguish your project from all other projects that we know about. You involve the parents, right? But you don't involve them in a way of giving them what they are lacking. You're empowering them with knowledge and skills. Now,
I love that you know what it is.
I fully understand that, because I was really inspired by your journey, because I've seen you before you were Miss Botswana, and now you're Miss Botswana. You're a totally different person, but not in a bad way. You're growing. And I remember I was having a conversation with a friend, when the year ends, we look back and we're not just appreciating that we're still friends. I appreciate that I can still see your growth. I understand. understand you're progressing. Now I want you to enlighten us of the challenges that you stay facing out there, because kana re bua ka rural areas, right?
Yeah.
Who literally knows nothing about what we are seeing in the city. I think that's also why my grandmother used to say before I go to tertiary school, so what are the challenges that you face when you're trying to work with parents towards achieving this?
You know, before I talk about the challenges, I just like to point out how receptive these parents are. I think it's something that I thought would be a challenge. I thought I'm going to get there, and because this is a culture that they've been living on and off for years, on and on for years. It's a lifestyle, and it's a generational culture. I thought that I'd face a lot of rejection, but one thing that I will say is that they're very open-minded to it. A challenge that I do face is not in terms of the parents themselves, but it's in terms of resources. You know what I mean? This project requires that I keep telling my team, I want to go to places we've never heard the names before. And so far I've been to places where a child has to walk 7 kilometers to go to another home, places that don't have schools, settlements pretty much. So one thing that I would say that is a challenge is pretty much resources, being able to gather all these people together who live 7 kilometers away from each other, who don't have phones. You know, it's just pretty much a resource issue. But once we gather everybody together, it's truly life-changing. I see it myself. I cry every time. We're executing the project, because the reception that they have is truly beautiful. And this is to say that there's so much good that we can do in the world, and the people who need it are open to it. I think it's a beautiful thing.
And speaking of you crying, is it because you relate, or is it because you don't relate? Now it touches you. Give us a little background check of your upbringing.
I don't relate. My project was actually inspired by the fact that I grew up in a community where it's normal to come from a broken home. I grew up in a community where it's normal to be afraid to grow up and be a musician, or grow up and be a baker or a makeup artist. Just all of these unorthodox careers. I grew up in a home where I grew up in a conducive environment, pretty much. And growing up in a community which is the opposite of that, I got a lot of rejection. I was like, oh, you're spoiled.
Are you privileged, ma'am?
I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not, though.
Why are you not saying it with your chest? Are you privileged?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
But I like to emphasize that privilege to me, when I say privilege, I'm not talking money. I'm talking I have a present father, and I have a present mother.
And they give you
money. I have a roof over my head. Not even. I have a roof over my head.
Yeah.
I have a supportive system. I know what love is. My parents have been present. I've been encouraged to do modeling. I've been encouraged to play guitar, to sing. Basketball. I'm going for basketball rehearsal tomorrow. No, this is how I became the multifaceted person that I am. I get this question, like you're saying, how are you able to be a lawyer and a Miss Botswana and a this and a that and a that? Because I grew up in an environment where I was allowed to, and it was a perk. And this is exactly what inspired the project. We have a community where it's the opposite, where when you say I have a present father, you are bragging. And what I want is to reverse that culture. It's going to take a lot of years, because I don't know how many years we've had this culture all around the world, not just in Botswana. So it's going to take a lot of years to undo this and to create a new culture and a new normal for poverty-stricken communities.
I like that point, when you say you have a present father, you're bragging. Like, why is it deemed as bragging? When I say I'm privileged, you know, why?
Because a lot of people grow up in the opposite. That's their norm.
So I'm not bragging. I'm sharing my status. I'm privileged.
You are, but what I'm saying is, to them, because it's not normal to be privileged, you are lucky, and you're bragging. Because
about
when
my
you're lucky, because you're not in the normal, you are better. But that's what I'm saying. It should be normal that you grow up from a conducive environment.
Understand?
Yeah.
But also, I like how you also, you know, like you're saying, you're privileged, you had support, yada yada. And I like how you now put all that you had in your project and you're giving it to somebody else.
Yes.
So indeed, your luck is benefiting other people. You understand?
It is true.
And to answer Brand's question, clearly you're grooming the next youth.
Yes, that's
the next
true.
Botswana. Now, real check to your profession now. Are you still practicing? And then what happens when you become Miss Botswana?
I took a break. I started juggling legal practice with being Miss Botswana, I think, for the first 4 months. I think till February. Superwoman.
Yo, never. And you saw the email.
Superwoman. Oh my goodness. I think I loved how Botswana loved that I'm a lawyer. I loved it. I loved it so much. Just the selfie in court would trend. I love that. So I juggled my legal career with being Miss Botswana, because I was like, I'm doing it differently. And then I took a break sometime in January or February, because I was meant to go to Miss World in in May. So I took a break in order to fully prepare for Miss World A. But over and above that, I think I was going to take a break anyway, because I truly believe in being diligent in whatever it is that I'm doing. And so juggling my legal career with being Miss Botswana means that I'm mediocre at both. And I don't like being mediocre.
You don't like it at all.
I don't like being mediocre. It's two very demanding tasks. You know what I mean? I'll be moridiong and then I have to go to work, or because I'm moridiong pakela, then I have to rush to the office and so on and so forth. So it was a lot of work. So I'm happy that I took that break, because I want to be impactful in whatever space that I'm currently occupying.
I'm looking at you right now and I'm loving your skin. Like, I summer well, right? And before you were Miss Botswana, I think you were, I don't want to say struggling with skin, but you,
girl.
Yeah, you know, you had
Girl,
it bad.
I had found a bit of my footing, but not as much.
Yeah. So what are you using, if you don't mind sharing?
So if you have acne prone skin, firstly, let me tell you what added to it at first. We're partnering with Mediglow Aesthetics. So I do microneedling, I do facials, I do what do they call them? Privileged stuff. It doesn't look privileged though, because they have needles pricking your face. So it looks very horrible, but it's not painful at all, because they numb your face first. So that's something that really changed the game for me, because what it does is that it opens channels to your skin, and so your products penetrate better and so on and so forth. But during my reign, I have also been in partnership with Sebamed. She loves these products. I never used to understand.
I actually like them also, because she plugged me to see my dermatologist, the same dermatologist she used, right, for our acne treatment, because it was really bad. And I'm hooked on Sebamed as well.
Right. So side products apart from these current two, I am big on Benzoic AC. It is a benzoyl peroxide face wash. It's big on pimples. It does wonders. Pay me for all of these. Not even just the marketing. Pay me, because I'm saving your skin. And then I'm also big on moisturizing and sunscreen. So moisturizing means you should get any moisturizer which has hyaluronic acid. We don't just buy because it's just a moisturizer. Guys, take time to do research. What actually moisturizes the skin? So when you buy a product, you check what's in this. You know what I mean? So anything with hyaluronic acid, and always sunscreen.
And I see you also have a partnership with Cresta. I'm a Cresta girl. I'm a Cresta girl. My friends know I'm a Cresta girl. How's the experience?
I love it. I think one of the greatest thing experiencing Cresta is being able to experience different Crestas across the country. That's my favorite part.
That's honestly my
favorite part. I can be like, oh, Raya, I mean, okay, I know that. I know the executive suite. I love that. Cresta really has become my home away from home, and we're also partnering with Cresta when it comes to my Beauty with a Purpose project, the Genesis project, which means that
white sheets for you.
Cresta to rejuvenate. So I absolutely love that partnership. I also spend my birthday there.
I like it. Now let's talk about your outfits to India. And as a country, we suffered a lot emotionally. And
you guys need
the
therapy.
former reigning queen.
That's the one thing that everybody asks
Are your
about.
outfits ready?
It's what everybody asks about. My outfits will be ready, and I keep saying, if any Motswana wants to know because one thing's for sure, no one is going to get to see those outfits before you actually see them when I'm there. But if you want any form of assurance in terms of quality and so on and so forth, we have been vetting the designers who will be dressing me for Miss World. So there was a call out to designers a few months ago, and thank you to everybody who answered that call. And we've been vetting all of these designers, which means one Tokyala mo Botswana. Is the quality good? Does it look good? And then are you qualified enough for so we do tag a lot of the designers who will be dressing me at Miss World, because they're currently dressing me locally, and they're doing an amazing job.
I love your
and I'm not easy to please. So I absolutely love it.
We have a response from the brand. You can read it. Asade says, "Wow, Luhle, I'm amazed with her answer. She is what I call a beauty skin She's what I call beauty skin dip. Remember, I think this one is for you directly, right?
Yes.
Remember, as soon as you step out to India, if you win, you'll be raising the dream of any African child.
Yeah.
And as a former model and a fashion designer, you have my full support. Lots of love from Palape.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
At least.
You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
little outfit.
The outfit,
the brand.
you know.
The brand.
I like that for you.
I'm really excited about that, though. I'm excited about wearing different people's outfits because, like this person is saying, Khwari, it's more than just about me. And as much as they're making reference to it being about an African child, it's also about a young Botswana entrepreneur. It's also about a young Botswana musician. You know what I mean? It's a platform that truly doesn't just help our tourism sector or just our diamond industry, which is what a lot of people perceive it to help, because 1 2 1 2 when I'm there, I'm going to be like, I'm a girl from a country with diamonds, you know. But I'm also going to be saying I'm a girl from a country with young, innovative people, and I'm wearing this made by a young innovative person. We have amazing music by Samamang. So it's a really great opportunity, and I am intentionally going to use this opportunity to ensure that I do market Botswana and Botswana young people.
I really, really like what you said. You're putting Botswana in the map.
Yes.
And speaking of singing Samamang song wa Botswana, I can watch Nadia. I mean, the famous drip till infinity, bruh. You have designers, you have... what's the difference between a designer and a tailor?
A designer...
What?
We the designer. We the designer thing.
Tailor uruka hair.
Tailor wa aruka.
Well, you have all that, man. Hey, at the palm of your hands.
Ready,
so yeah, you definitely need to attend
wink,
the
wink,
Yamas.
Miss Botswana Organization. Mr. Solomon.
Alright, I really had a great time with you here. I'm having a great time,
So
brother.
am I.
Now I want to ask you something. I did ask you earlier on, what do you eat? What does a Miss Botswana eat for the skin, for the body?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you guys stay in shape. Me, depression comes thin, joy comes fat, stress comes thin.
Really?
Flu comes dead. Like, so do you eat KFC? What's your favorite meal? Go KFC.
So currently, I like the Dunked Crunch box. Is it that? Is that it?
No, this is not. This is
okay.
the Dunk Crunch burger. Make it a box. I love it as well.
I love the Dunk Crunched box because it has the little burger. I'm big on everything dunked in KFC. So it has the little burger, and then it has the fries, then it has the piece. I never finish everything, but I'm okay. I love leftover food. Like, it hits different. Fun fact.
And they also have the drink, right?
So later, they also have a drink. Fun fact. Miss Botswana loves leftover food.
Really?
Like, it hits.
You're the type of and you're gonna leave it in the
No,
fridge.
not like that.
Tomorrow.
As in, so if I'm having the Dunk Crunch box, I always either have the burger with the fries, then I leave the meat. You know, then I make like a little salad with it later. Or I'll have the meat and the fries, then I have the burger later.
You're gonna mind me. I eat. I don't leave anything for later.
Okay.
I eat.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have enough room. I wish.
So thank you so much for spending lunch with me.
I'm excited.
As proudly sponsored by KFC Botswana, and they have given really.
So you have KFC every weekend, every week,
every Friday.
Your
No,
life
this is my
is
second
soft,
Friday.
wait.
Relax. I just got to relax.
Your
man.
life is soft.
Relax. It's not.
Soft
I used to be a bucket for one girl, right? And then lunch with the Faves is like, listen, we need
that's
to
a very
upgrade.
convenient meal, though.
It is. It used to be until I met the crust burger. So now we're going to be having KFC, and I need you to guess and share with Wanamai who's listening, tuned in right now. What do you think we are having?
Okay, so it's not the Dunk Crunch box.
Definitely not that.
Is it there's a Dunked Crunched meal?
What's the name of the dunked crushed meal? Why are you all so focused on dunked?
I don't know. There's a crunch box and a crunch meal. I know it's something crunch.
Why are you not assuming it's a streetwise one?
No.
Well, that's also my favorite. I get it because
Really?
I'm looking at it. When it's tight.
Yeah, this is the one I meant. The one that I save a piece for later in.
This is the one. But the bag is not dunked. Are you away?
Which one? For this one?
Yeah, the bag is not dunked.
I've actually never had one that's not done.
All right.
So I'm
Can you guess the name of the meal?
It's a crunched box meal.
Oh, man.
Girl. Oh, can
But yeah,
because
that's
I
right.
always order the
We're
dunked
having the NBA Crunch Tobacco Box, proudly brought to us and you, Ngonamai, by KFC. Thank you so much for spending lunch with your faves. With your fave, Lesego Chombo, who is live on the Miss Botswana Facebook page. You can also catch this show if you want to see how Ngonamai is dripped. Listen, it's a Friday. I don't know who's where, but just a pillowcase.
The streets are calling you.
The people need to see my outfit. People need to see my drip. We're dripping till infinity right here on the loudest show, Yarona FM. It's out loud with Lesego Chombo. Now, one last word before you can jump into your meal, right?
Yes.
What can you say to who's not really trying to make way to Mabunde per se, but who's just trying to be out there, right? Who just want to be out there, and the odds are against them. Like, your odds were against you in terms of social media following and presence. What can you say to them?
Hard work beats any other opportunity that any other person has. The saying actually is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but I've used the saying to apply it to so many other things. If I'm working hard, somebody else's status cannot beat me. If I'm working hard, somebody else's connections cannot beat me. You know what I mean? We live in a world where truly there are certain things which set other people a little forward and give them a little advantage. But one thing that I will say is that diligence always works. Someday, somewhere, somebody's going to see how committed you are at what you're doing. So just keep at it. But over and above that, purpose. There's this book that I'm reading, The Alchemist, and it says that when you truly want something, all of the universe conspires to make sure that you get it. And I truly believe in that God has placed purposes in our hearts, and every time you find whatever your purpose is, whatever your passion is, and you make sure that you pursue that, trust and believe that all things will work together for good.
I love that for you.
All things work together for those who trust in the Lord and all those who put in the work. I truly believe that, so keep at it.
Yeah, and as Yarona FM, right, as we're celebrating our 24th birthday, we're also speaking into existence your crowning of Miss World. So we would like to congratulate you already.
Thank you.
Congratulations!
Can't wait for you to replay this video.
Yeah, this is us in advance.
I can't wait for you guys to be replaying this video.
I love it for you. Yeah, on God, my G.
That's on God.
And thank you so much, Lesego, for gracing us with your presence. Thank you actually for allowing me to be having this conversation with you right here on the loudest show on Yarona FM, out loud and lunch with your fave. You're definitely my fave.
I had such a great time. I keep saying, I don't know if I'm meant to be a lawyer or like I should. I just always be in radio, in studio.
How did you feel when you
much fun.
How did you feel when you saw the flyer for your interview and it's my picture?
I was excited. I actually knew it was you beforehand.
Really?
Because she just called me.
Oh man, she spoiled it.
She called me. I was very excited about it. I had a really great time. I knew I was gonna have a great time.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for keeping it locked and rocking with me on Yarona FM. Thank you for the WhatsApp text, the social media engagements, as well as the social media engagement on the Miss Botswana page, and for tuning in on the loudest show. It's Out Loud, and this is what we do each and every Friday between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. We have lunch with your fave.
Like the threat.
I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bed. Yeah.
Lunch with your fave is brought to you by KFC. Finger licking good.